welcome to the Aladin Show. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're well, and welcome to the Aladin Show. Today we got a guest who's actually been here before, and today we are going to talk about how to manifest amazing things in your life. Learn to manifest with ease. I'm going to introduce you to Niamh O'Brien. She's from Dublin. Yeah, she's actually tuned in from Dublin. And before I get on, I just want to say a bit about her background. She's an acupuncturist and a naturopath based in Dublin. And at age 16, she was kind of forced to rebalance her gut health, and she had like symptoms like blurry vision, muscle pain, being anxious, and she's decided from there, when she started to look into gut health and she's seen the positive results and how it actually helped her health, she decided to go into natural health to help others, and that's her career now, helping others to rebalance their gut, well as being an acupuncturist. So she's got a whole range of experience and knowledge, and she also is very passionate about helping couples who are struggling to conceive as well. So she's got, as I said, a range of lots of skills and experience. I'm just going to go on over, kind of briefly over it. But today I actually got her on because she is very, we talk on, sometimes on Skype and WhatsApp, and we talk about manifestation, and she's into how to create things in our lives, and we've got similar passions, and I thought it'll be good to talk about how to manifest your own desires. And I know people know about law of attraction, and I got people come to me and say it doesn't work, but we just wanted to talk about how you can manifest great things into your life and how to do it, and some tips on doing it as well. So welcome, Niamh. Welcome to the Aladin Show. Hi.
Hi, Aladin. How are you? Greetings from Dublin.
Thank you. Well, it's great to have you, Niamh, again. You were here before.
Yes.
It's lovely to have you again. So as I said, today is all about manifestation. I mean, I've got a great interest in manifestation. I'm always fascinated. I know that so many people want to manifest great things into their life, but really they don't know how to do it. And today is all about that, especially what's happening around the world. I thought you need something to uplift people, and maybe during this time when they're not doing much, maybe they could put some kind of practice, some techniques to start kind of tuning their how to manifest things in their life. How's the weather in Dublin?
Well, the weather's absolutely fabulous. I know we're battling a tiny bit here with technology, but I can hear you. If in case I have to ask you to repeat one or two things, it's just because you're not coming across completely clear. Yeah. But I have most of you, and yes, I think it's an absolutely fabulous time, as kind of crazy and a bit sad that it is, that we can maybe take this time to really improve many areas of our life. And it's very rare that people are gifted this in one sense. I won't say gifted, but that this time presents itself to people, because in the modern day world that we're living in, we are being pulled left, right and centre. And I love that quote, that a reactionary will thrive in good times and fall in bad times, but a visionary will thrive in all times. And this is a good time to be doing visualization and turning the other cheek, be informed with what's going on, but maybe not inundated, and just get the headlines, and then maybe spend that time doing anything from vision boards to meditations to visualizations and walks, etc., that we can do. And it can be a real time to find that peace within. A colleague of mine was actually doing a webinar there recently, and she ended her whole webinar with the word bless. And she said, I just think that this time might be a time where we can have time for self-replenishment, restoration, stop squeezing stuff into our life and just be calm and everything. And all I saw in the word was actually be less. So not bless, but be less. So the blessing is in maybe being less and doing less. And actually that's very much the core of today, is to be. Like Nike says, just do it. I say just be it. Because so much of this manifestation is really around what or who we are being, not what we're doing. And there's a huge difference. And I suppose if this universe or field that the scientists have now said does exist, so if this intangible space between us is alive as a conscious living essence, then, and it's responding to us, it's not responding to what we're doing, it's responding to who we're being. And therefore, how can we be exactly what we wish to experience? So it's not so much like I'm feeling a certain way because X, Y, and Z is a certain way, and that's why I'm feeling blue. It's no, your X, Y, and Z is a certain way because you're feeling blue. So if we can change it up and not put the cart before the horse, so basically elicit that emotion before it becomes, then we shall maybe start having an enjoyable time playing with this potential. And I guess last time I was on your show, I was talking about the gut health and why I'm so particularly interested in the gut health, besides my own path to recovery back at 16 and what I see it doing for my clients who want to conceive. But one of the main things with balancing your gut is all the hormonal balance that happens. And as we are pumping out more serotonin, which is our happy hormone, and our GABA, which is our peace hormone, we are being something very different to the crazy runaround people that we normally are. So I mean, it's very hard to tell somebody to be positive when their whole physiology is sugar slumps and feeling low and not sleeping. So in balancing the physiology first, our thoughts are going to be naturally more positive, our meditations are going to be stronger, and our feeling is going to be more potent, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm actually doing, I'm taking this time out, as you said, your physiology is a key. I'm finding I'm sorting my gut out, I'm doing a few other things, I'm meditating, but as you said, even regarding the manifestation, I'm personally feeling that you need to sort out your physical body to allow this energy to flow to manifest. So we are a vessel. So as you said, sorting out your gut health, any kind of other issues is a very important time, because we've got time now and it really reflects our life and what aspects of our lives that we need to work on, rather than kind of being fearful of what's happening or what's going to happen in the future. I think this is, as you said, this is a time that it's an opportunity for us to kind of work on ourselves and be ready to move forward when this is over, in a high
Yes. Yes.
So
yes. No, and I'm particularly saying that to people in relation to their physical health, because very often people are pulled out to birthday dinners and meetings of coffees in this cafe and being in the shopping centre more than they wish to be, and the discipline is hard to be disciplined all the time. This is forced discipline. You can't go out, so the homemade meals
I was actually passing McDonald's and all that shot. I was thinking what you just said. I'm thinking now people need to actually cook at home and make kind of healthy dinners and etc.
Yes.
So, and I've actually seen people. I know people are supposed to stay at home, but I mean, I go out for a walk and all this, and I've seen a lot of people walking, keeping distance away from people, but it's also allowing people to have more exercise. It's reflecting. I mean, they could have been going to work every single day and never exercise. An opportunity to exercise as well. But as I said, the manifestation. When you talk about the key to manifestation, we want to kind of, as I said, what we want to share with people today is to use kind of simple techniques to manifest. But before we start about manifestation, the thing that came to me today is that when I was growing up, I wasn't taught about manifestation. I was taught that I didn't have the power, I didn't have power to create anything. I was taught that something external was, which is, or someone else was more powerful, and I have to follow them. And I felt like powerless, because whereas manifestation is about you have the power within yourself and tapping that. But what I'm trying to say is that a lot of people maybe have been brought up in a certain way that they don't believe they could manifest anything. You know, whatever happens in life, through hard work or through somebody else, but they don't believe they are the manifestors of their own life.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And I think we have been taught an outside-in world rather than an inside-out world. So shifting that paradigm is quite a stretch, and yet very exciting at the same time. And it's a little bit like Einstein says, you know, imagination is way more powerful than knowledge. And really that God or creative power lives through our imagination. So that is where our power lies, and it's about using it to, I often call it the first sense, actually, not the sixth sense. I think we create with that first sense, the imagination, and then experience it with all our five senses. And I think that every single person has a genie, which is kind of apt now talking to you about this, the genie in the lamp. But I believe we all have a genie who will give us whatever we wish for, but it only understands one form of communication, and that's emotion. So intellectualizing it is all one thing, and I've had many people who say, you know, I tried that, I tried positivity and nothing worked, and they might have just been intellectualizing it without an emotion behind it, or they might have got the emotion behind it but just for a very small little time period. So I guess it's really the consistency, which is why this time period is also beautiful, because there's such opportunity for consistency every day. You can't go out. There's plenty of time to be getting a pair of headphones on you and taking half an hour out to go within, detach from the world, and do whatever it is to evoke that emotion. And you do that for consistency. And the thing is, some people will say, well, I haven't seen any change. It's like, but the first manifestation is how we feel. So if we start feeling better on any level, it's happening, and that's our first manifestation. And then we give more and more energy to that, and then sit back, get a box of popcorn, and watch the magic of your life unfold. That's what I think, because it's going to be reflected if we keep it up. There's no doubt about it. I had a lovely experience with this when I first came across all of this, 10 or 15 years ago, and I was really interested about suddenly that we don't have an outside in world, we have an inside out world, and that we were taught maybe to face reality before we realized we were creating it. So it was a case of just taking time every day, getting the affirmations going, and with every affirmation and self-talk we do, new neural connections in our brain are connecting stronger, all different chemicals are flooding through our body, and we are literally changing our state of being. And as we are changing our state of being, then life is going to reflect that new state of being. So how do we change our new state of being? And I had one affirmation on loop really, and one day then I just really felt, what was it at the time? I had something like, magical things are happening to me, magical things are happening to me, magical things are happening to me. And then one day I really felt, I said, oh my gosh, I actually believe something amazing is going to happen. Stay in a state of appreciation. So I started looking for the good in everything around me, from family and friends and the weather and all sorts. And then out of the blue, I just could not stand out of the way of winning prizes. They just kept finding me, and they were magical things like monetary prizes, hotel prizes, barbecues, big barbecues of €500, loads of different vouchers and stuff. But the creme de la creme came with the £5,000 trip to New York. Wow. And I mean, I tuned in. I was getting into the car on going out to a meeting, and as I put the key in the ignition, I literally heard the third and final clue in today's competition is. And so I entered on the third competition, and 20 seconds later I was called, and I was the winner of a prize for two to New York for 5 days, Broadway show of your choice, spending money, 4-star hotel transfer. It was absolutely beautifully organised. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So they were all, at that stage, I really didn't care how it worked. I just liked that it worked, or it seemed to work, because there was a direct correlation between this influx and how I felt. There was no way you couldn't say something hadn't changed. So I've been sort of been fascinated by that ever since. But I think really the real wealth of it all is your day-to-day living and how you start finding you react to things differently. You start seeing things a different way. You start knowing that this is only a reality as long as you keep it in reality. So start thinking differently about something, whether it might be a mediation or a conflict or something that feels a bit heavy. And that's your real wealth, then, how you are living on a day-to-day basis. But that's not to say all desires can't be in there as well.
Well, it was, as you said, there was the first thing key is an emotion. And that's what people need to, and as you mentioned about how a lot of people come back and say, this is not working, but the key is your emotions. You could say something, but if you don't feel it, then how can you, that's where the manifestation, feeling something takes time. It's all about practice, as you said, and just kind of keep feeling it, being it, because that's something I actually have learned as well for many years. You know, I used to kind of follow the affirmations and things, and suddenly I see bits of it coming through, then suddenly certain things won't come through, you know, manifest. But then I realized it's my emotions. I had to train in a way that I was happy of where I was, and, you know, appreciating things rather than thinking, oh, this is not enough, I'm looking for this. And as you said, this is what we need to do. Is the key is the emotions and living in the present moment, appreciating things and doing the affirmations and meditating and being okay where you are. And then what you were just saying is manifesting things like, you know, small things that will come into your life. Sometimes when we try to manifest big, huge things, I feel that we want it, but we still don't deserve it, and you don't believe it's going to be possible, manifesting a house or manifesting £1 million. But say, for example, we want to manifest a kettle, you know, I would love a kettle, a new kettle next time if somebody gives you a kettle, right? So, because it's not something that we want it, but without emotions, we don't have any resistance to having that kettle. But somehow we don't put a block on it, that's why it comes very quickly. But when we if we want a house or a huge amount of money, we want it, but we believe it's impossible that'll come to us, and that's a block we put in. That's emotional block we put in, as you were saying. But for yourself, you know, you started seeing things happening. But I'm also finding that when I'm in that zone, if I think of something, it happens very quickly. And when that happens, you know that you're actually in the right zone. You know, if you think about somebody calls you, if you think about a red dress, suddenly you see in the shop. Do you know what I mean? So and I think you've hit on something very important there, that you start small with something you can believe, and then as that comes into your life, then the belief strengthens that this is a road to follow. So start small and bring it big. And the other thing is, have you ever been behind somebody when they're looking for salt or something in a cupboard and they can't see it, and you just reach over their shoulder and you grab it and it's there? So that sort of philosophy as well, that everything we wish is there or it's done, so it's about seeing it. And it's like that quote with Walt Disney, you know, we are seeing it today because he saw it. So he saw it so clearly in his imagination that then, you know, it got built and we're getting to see it physically today. So you know, he saw it in his mind, and it became. And that really is my big philosophy, is energy flows where attention goes. So where do we wish to have it flowing? And our feelings will always let us know whether we are going to pull in something nice or not nice to our lives. So if it is something that we're feeling heavy with, it's very good to apply the conscious awareness to it and interrupt it there before we pull it in. It's like a fishing rod. You know, if we're throwing out thoughts like a fishing line, and then we are feeling negative, then we're pulling in a shark or something we don't want to. Whereas if we throw it out and we feel good, well, maybe we're pulling in a big salmon or something we do like. But it gives us time to take our line out and throw it out again, you know. So thoughts are like the coordinates. They'll just land on a potential possibility in the field,
And if we don't like how we feel, then we can retract that and throw it out with other coordinates or thoughts into another possibility or potential. So it's really, really, I guess you said it there earlier, we were never taught the significance of our emotions. And what we have been taught a lot is effort and to do, that we're human doings. And there's a great little analogy actually, which is we never get out into the car and say, I think I'll get under the bonnet of the engine and help the engine do its engine things and help the pistons do its pistons things and try and have the engine move. We literally get into the car and we point in the direction we want to go and we let the engine do the work. And that's our job with the emotions, that we literally imagine or think about and flow that energy to what we would like to see in our life, and don't let the how come in. That's not our job. The how is the engine, and we got to trust that that engine knows exactly what to do. So all our job is to steer and flow the attention to the direction we want to go, whether it's living in that house or that wedding or whatever it is that you create that job. But so often we trip ourselves up because we kind of go, but how would that happen for me? And the how, as soon as we do the how, we're getting in under the bonnet of the engine.
That's exactly. And you mentioned like a car, and how I see it is that when people go into the car, they put in first gear, they're putting in like the thought, this focus, or this is what I want this to manifest. But going in first gear is very, very slow, and that's just why most people kind of give up. Their beliefs kind of hold, so it's not, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, you know. And then you go to the second day. So there's a lot of faith goes into, you have to really believe it's going to happen. As I said, you don't know how, where, when. Just the belief is, I know I'm going to get there. I remember many, many years ago, my vision is like, I seen the show, I was like, I want my own show. And I said, I don't have a clue how it's going to happen, but I knew that I wanted a show that would uplift people, that something's going to be different about this, and people will feel good about it. So I'm already on that journey that is already, you know, and there's something much bigger is going to happen. And I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. But it's having that faith. But one thing I want to also say that, you know, we all have visions, we have dreams, we want to be. But when we start talking to other people about it, oh, I want to do this, there are certain people will say, oh, you're a dreamer, you know, how can that be? Or you're not good enough, or you don't have that skill, you know, you can't be like this person, he or she's like, look at the top, you're just there, you know, you're working in this job, how can you be you know, a celebrity, do you know what I mean? And then it kind of deflates you, you know, people mostly get, oh, he or she's right. So I would think a lot of people don't talk about your dreams, don't, you know, just those, don't kind of, if you don't talk to people who are not going to support you on this, you know, talk to people.
Absolutely. Yes, I would only talk to people who understand, or don't talk at all until the seed of your idea is grown. Because if you talk to people who say your seed will never come to anything, you're as good as dig it up and take it away. Because you say you're not going to bloom, you know, so let it get a momentum. The momentum is the big thing. And that's why sometimes people apply an affirmation or something to a real negative situation. But I guess the whole thing is, it's more, you have to keep that affirmation going until this starts happening, till the momentum in this side is good. So it weakens, but it's a little bit of time, and it's a little bit of consistency. And it's to really, what is it they say about faith? Faith is believing what you cannot see, and the reward of that faith is seeing what you believed. So
I could see you, Niamh, that you're going dark, you know, background's going dark. Obviously, the sun's going down, sunset.
Yes, hang on, let me get some light.
So quickly, just kind of, oh, you can see you lighting the back on, that's great, right.
You see, I believe there could be light, so there's light.
Yes, I could see light, there you go. So the stuff we were talking about is about turning up the volume of your manifestation. So I think we covered some of the points how to turn up the volume of your manifestation. One is obviously the motion, is one of the keys. Is it's actually working on emotions. You mentioned meditation as well. It's one I feel that when you meditate, you kind of calm your mind and allow your desires to come in a sense. I find that when I'm meditating, just to relax, I feel that things happen really quickly, you know. And that's one of the things I think is you kind of turn up the volume of manifestation. Being joyful, you know, for me is having fun and laughing.
Absolutely. Yes, there's nothing like a comedy. Actually, I really don't watch any sad or scary films or anything like that anymore, because I think, why would I do that to my vibration? But it's I know sometimes I've done meditations and done affirmations, and what I want to do is take the headphones off and say, this is a waste of time. I'm really not moving anywhere today, and I'm just sitting here thinking about all the emails I have to do and all the things I have to do. So I guess the first thing is that's a chemical body trying to think for the mind. So it's like taming or training a dog, really. Like, we have to sort of say to the body, yes, you'll get your emails, you'll get your coffee, you'll get whatever you need, but for now you're going to sit here and we're just going to do this meditation. And there's an immediate sense of taking back control there, and that the mind is now thinking for the body. And in that little sort of tantrum, all your hormones, all your chemicals are changing. So again, you're changing your state. So it's handy to know that those times when you want to fling off the headphones and go, oh, it's not working, that actually it is, you just are taking the lead on the dog, basically. You just need to sit there for a few more minutes and say, I hear you, body, you are thinking for me, and actually I'm going to engage the mind here, and the mind is going to think and tell you how to be. But what a really good thing I have often found as well is emotive music can be very helpful. So if you feel that you're not getting much emotion with your affirmations or your meditations, sometimes putting on a musical score from a film can be very good. So something like Gladiator or Last of the Mohicans, or they have the whole reason that musical scores are done for films is to evoke the emotion. So they can really support that, and you can maybe get into the zone there. So that's always a great tip. Also, I really believe the physiology, the more calm and healthy and vibrant you are feeling physiologically, the stronger your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions will be as well. And then the other thing is just to realize that those days you do want to just give up on it. It's about just realizing that it's the body thinking for the mind, and the body is so used to a certain set of chemicals going through every day that it actually really directs the mind to look for a thought or something that will continue to feed those chemicals. So like, oh, this isn't working, great, you know, that's what the body is looking for, or I can't do this without my coffee. So when you have that sort of hormone tantrum, as I call it, that's a stage of change. So it's really good. I suppose it's like people who are giving up sugar or a cigarette, you know, that craving. It changes, but you're changing your state there as well. So yeah, they be two tips anyway.
Wow, that's really good, because you know, most successful people know how to manifest things. They've already. They know the mind is the key. You know, your thoughts, your imagination is the key to manifesting things. But the great thing is, when you start manifesting things, you realize that you're not just a physical being. You're far bigger, more spiritual being. That you have the power. And I say to a lot of people, take back your power, because you have the power to change your reality. And when we start manifesting things, you realize how powerful you are. How mind is powerful. And this is when we say, if you start manifesting very quickly, just become aware of what you're manifesting, because sometimes you might regret what you're manifesting if you don't have a thought and really think about what you really manifest. Would that make you happy? You know.
Yes. Yes.
So I know that me and you we follow Ibrahim Hicks, which I love listening to her, and and I love the way she said, just eventually everybody will start manifesting things very quickly and understand how to manifest, and then they want to de-manifest.
Yeah, de-manifest, that's it. Will be so good, because very often it's not about divine timing, it's about divine alignment. So it's really about just not introducing any negative emotion, I suppose, or resistance into that desire. Like she has a great one there on if your car speed manifests the strength of your desire, and trees in the woods represent the obstacles, then the faster your car is going, it's going to have a big impact when it hits the tree. So we have been taught in life to sort of reduce our desires, reduce the speed of our car, but how about just getting rid of the obstacles, getting rid of the trees, and then keeping the speed of the car but having no obstacles in our way? So look, again, it's a little bit like the getting in under the engine and helping it out. We just get in our own way. So if we have a desire, we sort of immediately go into comparing it with the rest of the world. Well, how could I have that when they worked harder and they only have a bit of it, so there's no way I can have it. And we just kind of negatively talk ourselves out of it, that we're I suppose it's that part of it, not where you're not deserving, because surely we have to do A, B and C to achieve that, and basically hard work equals luck, and actually it's not about the doing, it's about the being. So just be it, not just do it, as Nike says.
Yeah, that's exactly. And just a few minutes, but I'm going to say that things like jealousy, anger and all that actually stops manifestations. It's very, very important to, as you mentioned, how we feel about other people or feel about things is very important, because we're actually stopping our own manifestation. I think when you're really happy with somebody else's success, you're actually opening success for yourself or manifestations. And I think people don't really understand that. Quite a few people who think, as you said, mention who he or she's done now, and a bit of jealousy and all this happens, and then what happens is basically they're kind of destroying their future by having that emotion.
I know. Yeah, that's a really, really important point. I mean, they're not called sins for nothing, I suppose, in the religions. All those sort of jealousy and coveting and all of that. And sin in Spanish is without. So if you're with sin, you're without. If you're holding on to one of those jealousies or resentments or anything, you're with sin. You're without what you wish to come into your life. So it is so helpful both to yourself and everybody else that when you wish success for yourself, you wish it for others. And when you see others with success when you don't have it, we should get excited that if it's there for them, it's there for us. That's a whole shift in emotion. Not jealous, but I kind of go excited. Great.
Yeah, excited and supportive for others, and that's really, really important. But thank you, Niamh, for coming on. I know that we briefly touched this, and we could talk for hours about manifestation.
We could.
But I hope that people who are watching have got some kind of tips on just to kind of become more aware what to do and what you're doing at the moment. Maybe if you're not manifesting, maybe some of the tips that Niamh have actually shared today will help you to kind of readjust the way you think about things. Because you just need maybe just one wee thing, tweak you need that actually will allow you to manifest things in your life. But thank you, Niamh, for coming on, and thank you for your time all the way from Dublin.
It was an absolute pleasure coming and talking with you about manifesting. It's something everybody loves, I think, and a great topic to do actually, Aladin, while everyone's in the lockdown, because it can turn a bad situation into possibly the best thing they ever had, as long as there's no loved ones that are sick or anything like that. There is an opportunity to really do something with this time.
Definitely, this is a time to for everybody to learn learn about manifestation, learn about whatever, learn a skill. I know some people are learning languages. Whatever they want to do, this is the time to do it, and take this opportunity to do what you've been thinking for a while. So thank you, Niamh, for coming on, and hope to bring you back on. You've got you could talk about so many subjects. I know that.
You'll have to bring me on now in a month or so and ask me what I've manifested since I've been talking to you.
Yes, you need to come back on. We need to know what you manifested. I'm going to be working on my manifestations as well. So I would love to hear from the viewers as well in a few weeks' time what they manifested and if this actually.
Yes, gosh, I better get to work.
Yeah, we need to. So thank you. Thank you,
No
Niamh.
no problem. Happy manifesting and thanks Aladin and happy Easter or whatever it is, manifesting or Easter, and we shall talk to you in a few weeks.
Thank you, Niamh.
All right, bye. Thank you for having me on. Bye. 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 Bye.
For joining us, and I hope everybody enjoyed this show. I've definitely learned one or two things from Niamh. This is a time to manifest your dreams. Learn, take your time out, focus on your emotion, do some meditating, have joy, laugh, spend time with family, focus on the moment, be positive. Stay away from negativity online, social media, and the media, because it's not really going to do good for your own life. But positivity is the key forward. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I have anyway. Thank you for joining me. Please join me next week, and please share this show with your family and friends, and I'm sure they all benefit. Remember, share with the community is sharing is caring. So take care. See you next week. Bye.
If you have a dream